Voting is underway for American Democrats living abroad. In 2020, then candidate Biden lost the overseas primary to independent Senator Bernie Sanders by a wide margin. Thousands of Democrats voting uncommitted in states like Michigan and Minnesota and primaries back here in the U.S. What could all of that translate to in terms of the overseas vote for President Biden this time around? Martha McDevitt-Pugh is the international chair for the group Democrats Abroad and joins us now. Martha, it's good to see you. So where do things stand? We mentioned what happened in 2020 and some concerns heading into this 2024 primary, essentially. What's the enthusiasm level like?
Well, good morning, Erica, and thanks so much for having me here today. We've been running global primary voting at 100 locations around the world in 46 countries, in-person voting as well as remote voting. And I can tell you the energy and the enthusiasm at our voting centers has been really high. People are really delighted that they're able to come and vote in person with Democrats abroad, cast their vote for a primary presidential candidate, and they'll be all set to be able to vote in the November election. So we're getting a lot of enthusiasm in person. Of course, the numbers are not what they were in 2020 when we had a contested primary with many different candidates, but we're seeing also a lot of people voting remotely, and we're really looking forward to the next couple of days of voting in our global primary and then announcing our results on March 25th.
When we talk about issues, consistently the polling of voters in the U.S. show that the economy is really up there as a top priority. What are you seeing from those living abroad in terms of major issues and concerns heading into this 2024 election?
Yeah, well, the issues that we're hearing from Americans abroad are issues that really matter to us in terms of our lives as American citizens who have family and friends, possibly elderly parents who may return to the United States. We want to be sure that we have access to our Social Security. I mean, certainly there's a lot of confidence in President Biden, and he spoke that out in the State of the Union address, how important it was to make sure Social Security is funded and is working. That's a very important issue. But what I hear from Americans abroad is how important democracy is. We did a poll recently to find out what issues were mattering most to our members and our voters, and they're really committed to democratic institutions and the future of democracy.
Which is interesting to see. We know the Biden campaign has made that a large part of the campaign itself moving into 2024. Pardon me. There are questions about if it is resonating with voters, here on U.S. soil. It will be interesting to see. Foreign policy is incredibly important, especially for folks, expats living abroad, as they look at how things are being handled. There's some new polling, an ABC News Ipsos poll that just came out. And when it comes to the way President Biden is handling the situation in Israel and Gaza, the numbers are not great. 65% of respondents say they disapprove of the way it's being handled. What are you hearing?
Well, we certainly have members all around the world, and we have members that have a lot of different perspectives on what's happening with foreign policy. It's an important issue for us because we really don't speak to foreign policy. We want to be sure that our members around the world are safe. We're creating forums for them to have discussions around that. I think it's one of the issues that will impact the election, but I think we're hearing about a whole other range of issues. For example, our voting rights. We're covered under federal law, the same law that covers military voters. Our members around the world and Americans abroad care very much that we're able to vote back in the states that we vote. So people are very connected back to the places where they have lived in the United States and with and family. So voting rights is an important issue, taxation, and the president spoke about that the other day in the State of the Union, how important it was to simplify taxation. That is one of the top issues for Americans abroad. So we see a whole wide variety of issues, and I think also family unification and immigration are really important issues. Many of us want to have the right to be able to return to the United States with our families and have an immigration system that works. Reproductive rights is actually, after democracy, one of the top issues that our members are facing.
Do the members who you speak with, do they feel that their voices are heard back in Washington?
I think that is one of the things that we're really here for as an organization as Democrats Abroad, to make sure that we are included and not left out of important legislation and matters that happen in the United States. Sometimes we do get forgotten and left out. I mean, the $2 trillion Trump tax giveaway was one of those issues that really seriously impacted Americans abroad who are small business owners. And we really need to elect Democrats in order to fix that.
Martha McDevitt-Pugh from Democrats Abroad. Good to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.